Hello, lovely souls. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to come on and do a Gemma's Gems Wellness Wednesday and really wanted to give you a highlight as to what is happening energetically for us and probably the next couple of months, especially as we transition into winter and going forward into spring. So it's quite a bit to cover. Um, the first things that I really want to highlight is our nervous system and how this will be potentially showing up for you. Okay, so the first things I have noticed and recognized that we have been going through more of what I would say is mental energy. So, how we perceive things, our subconscious beliefs, our patterns, our unconscious patterns and beliefs that we've inherited through our generations, through our ancestral, which is now being proven to be held in our mitochondria, in the cells, basically our DNA. So, our body communicates something called through the vagus nerve. This is quite a coherent nerve that connects the brain into all organs of the body. And so the last couple of months, I've definitely been seeing that we are actually being encouraged to look through our subconscious patterns, our belief systems, our bullshit, whatever we wish to term them as. And actually, when you call it bullshit, you can actually start to go, this isn't my truth. Okay, because we are so conditioned on a level, especially when we're growing up, we're living theta wave, and we will absorb patterns very unconsciously. And this forms how we are going forward and into our adult life. So a lot of the time we will be carrying beliefs that we have carried as a child, but also the beliefs of our parents and their parents and thus and thereon. So we've been being called to go through this mental energy, like a deep shadow going through the depth of that, to work out what actually is our truth. And ultimately, our truth is that we are love, that we are joy, and that we are peace. And this is all what is our truth. However, generations of fear that humanity has created, because fear actually is an illusion if it's not in the past, in the present moment. Okay, so if we're not having to suddenly run or move or act to keep us in to survive, the rest of the fear is an illusion. It's looking at either it's the past or it's the future. So we have to be able to start looking at what is our survival patterns and to enable us to break free from these so we can actually come into more thriving. And our whole survival patterns are being really, really triggered through scarcity, through media, through fear, through war, because we're all connecting into this collective consciousness, and we will be feeding from the same source. And the more open you are, the more you will be experiencing this. So we have mentally been encouraged to work through these belief systems, this subconscious that has us disconnected from ourselves, from our truth, from our joy, and see these as old patterns, whether it's jealousy, whether it's your beliefs about money, relationships, about yourself. And what has been shown to me in the last few days, because the nervous system is going through a right shift and shake up, which, if not conscious, can feel very dysregulating, very discombobulating, and a huge sense of anxiety, overwhelm, stress, and fatigue. And our usual patterns is to just keep pushing through. That is not going to work anymore. We are being encouraged to find our thriving rather than our survival. So we need to be able to take time to pause and to see what patterns we are in that we need to break. And this mental energy of hopelessness. So the deepest, darkest fear barriers that we have to coming into our power, into our sovereignty, where we feel empowered and trust, and we become the makers of our path, which is we can be, is this victim, martyr, perpetrator triangle, which we see in the extremes and the collective as war. However, we carry this through us in our body and our mind. And these are the layers that we need to work through to unpeel out of our systems, out of our general base survival patterns, which money plays a huge role in this. Okay, so this is really being triggered. And what I will mention here, because this is what I feel we're going to be seeing in the next few months, is the whole aftermath of COVID. How we were barraged and psychologically attacked through the media. I'm going to call this out really now, very straight. We were fear, manipulated, and lied to. And this is coming up now. It's been coming up to be seen for what it is. What we have to recognize is how our nervous systems were affected through that. So I still feel there's huge amount of shock waves still imprinted in people's nervous systems for this. It's huge, okay? Unless you've been doing lots of trauma work to move that through, that will be being held in your system, especially as it's not being acknowledged anymore, or reasons behind it. And especially we're in this kind of space of going, is it true? What is our truth? There's huge amounts of will be coming out through the system, okay? And especially if you fell into that fear, which most people did, you will be feeling quite shocked, betrayed, disillusioned, and what is my truth? And so all of this will be coming up. What can I trust? So this will be coming up through your system. You'll also be getting anger. You'll also be getting frustration. But the key words for me was hopelessness and helplessness. So the mental energy that we've been going through has been our mental belief of feeling hopeless. So when we feel disempowered, we're looking in the future and we don't know what to do to move forward. So we're starting to feel hopeless. The difference and the shift that I'm seeing in the next few months, and definitely now, because I often see it a few months before, and the body seems to show that, is the helplessness is a very present feeling. And it's in the nervous system. This is what we call the fight flight. This is freeze mode. This is where you're unable to move, to make any changes. No matter which way you look, you can't do anything. It's been stuck and helpless, as I feel the pressure and squeeze will come upon us even more, or the attempt to be will be there for us to see it. This is the thing, we've got to recognize when things happen. It's for us to reflect and to see it for what it is. What is it calling out for us to heal? That's when you become really empowered, when you can see that there's a reason, there's a learning behind it, and then you can create the healing that you need to bring forward for that, rather than going, this is my story, I'm a victim, I'm a martyr, I'm helpless, I'm hopeless. But the difference is it's going from not being able to see the future to being able to feel completely stuck. And I felt that in my body really significantly yesterday. Complete frustration and anger can sit under that, because there's this, I can't move, I can't do anything. And it's not very pleasant, it's very neural. And this will be feeding into the kidneys, your adrenal glands, and your lower limbs, your legs, down to the soles of your feet. So this is really calling in your base chakra, where everything is about feeling safe and feeling supported. And I'm definitely feeling the soles of the feet for this, because if we don't feel connected, we don't feel supported, we feel like we're all over the place. We're not anchored, we're not grounded in ourselves. So this is really important for us to work through. And we know that our central nervous system has held on to this trauma, whether it's through COVID or previous trauma that you may have experienced in your life, this will be coming up for you, okay? So what I wanted to share with you is just a few techniques on how you can actually help regulate your nervous system in just a few moments, okay? And get you back your axis, get you back into your space, into your body, and connect to earth, because it's the disconnection to earth is what actually makes us feel this anxiety, because we're not in connection, which also comes to gut health, because this is our connection to the earth. So solar plexus is coming in and our sacral is coming in. So the kidneys is about discernment, it's the water, the emotions. The solar plexus is where fear can sit, or can nourishment, because if you think of fire, we need it for nourishment, but too much, it can be like fear. So we need to bring balancing of these three chakras, okay? The base chakra, the solar plexus, and the sacral. And this is the fire, water, and earth kind of elements, okay? So what's really helped me is breathing, breath work. Spend 5 minutes doing breath work. You might just want to do the box breath. So you breathe in for 4, you hold for 4, you breathe out for 4, you hold for 4. You breathe in for 4, you hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold for 4. And you just connect into your breath, and you can do it now as I'm talking. You bring it more into your belly, more into that connection to yourself, and just observe, listen to your body. This is this love to heal concept. Listen, observe, and then through visualization, you make those changes, which gives you that empowerment, okay? So set an intention as you take that breath work to feel more connected, to feel more at peace, to feel more grounded. And just call your body, thank your body for discerning what is serving you and what isn't serving you. And just sit in an objective state of being, just to see what comes up. No judgment, just purely observation of self, okay? Don't try and necessarily get rid of the thoughts, just let them come and let them go. A bit like clouds in the sky. Just observe, you see, you allow them to pass, okay? And use your breath work, especially if emotions are there. Just connect into your breath. Rock your body if you need to, just to bring that self-assurance to come in. You know, we would rock our children to be soothed, so we can do that to ourselves. We can definitely bring connection to our bodies, for our heart, connect our hand to the heart, bring in that breath, tap your heart, whatever you need to do to really call yourself back into your body. Also, you can go and get barefoot and jump up and down, just to help stimulate the kidneys, the adrenals, to just bring in some balance, move things through if there's any stagnancy there. Because things aren't good when they're stagnant. There's lack of energy, which will create fatigue. And, you know, for me, it's getting out in nature. Now, getting out in barefoot, which isn't the nicest thing to do in the winter, but it's really just a few minutes just to go and ground. I've even placed my hands on the ground as well, and just thanking the earth to support and hold me, to take anything I no longer need and to give me what I do, just to create that exchange, just thanking the earth for taking what no longer is needed, what you no longer need to carry anymore, what no longer need to be burdened with anymore. That is a beautiful one, and something that really helped me the other day, because I was trying to work out, do I need to exercise to move this through, or was it rest? And interestingly, overwhelm can either push you to do more, and sometimes you need the exercise to move things through. Other times you actually need the rest. This is the cortisol. It's trying to know what your body really needs. And if you're getting addicted to cortisol, you'll end up doing more and more, which puts more pressure on your kidneys and your health, okay? So what I did was I'd laid on my back, knees up or comfortably soles together. That's quite nice if your hips can open that well. And you place your hands underneath. So just letting your hands rest on your occiput, just like that. And so be more comfortable lying down, because then you're just resting back and connecting to your breath. Just spend a few moments just connecting and just observing yourself. And without moving your head, with your eyes, you look to the right. And you do that until you feel like a shift, something happens in your nervous system, whether it's a deeper breath, whether it's a sigh, whether it's a shiver, a sense of change of temperature through you. And then you take a deep breath and then come back into the center, and then you look to the left. And then you can do that several times. Okay, and this is actually stimulating the vagus nerve, which is really important to bring us back into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest, digest, feed, breathe. It's the calming, healing state that we need. And especially if you're in freeze, you know, being able to get it out of that to come to, because otherwise it's just stuck. Nothing can move or happen. We can't even go into sympathetic to get up and do the day. So, you know, especially if you're struggling with chronic fatigue or anything like that, I'd imagine it's because your nervous system is quite heavily in the freeze mode. Okay, it's gone from fight and completely exhausted to freeze, feeling helpless. Okay, and I often pull my ear down like that and open my jaw, because your vagus nerve comes right down here. You follow the neck muscle here, the sternomastoid here, follows that in the carotid artery. So by opening your jaw and pulling your ear, you're actually creating more space. So you're stimulating that nerve to activate. By meeting alongside your breath, especially if you're doing big belly breaths and bringing some cold water as well, that's really enabling your nervous system, okay, your vagus nerve, and it's getting it to activate and just bring your body back to coherence. Okay, so practice those. Biggest thing is do less. Less is more, okay, because like I say, cortisol will have you trying to do more. It's like you're on a hamster wheel, like you just got to keep going. That isn't going to help you. And actually, it's about being able to break that pattern and get off and regulate your nervous system. And actually, you will find more clarity, more grounding, and recognizing where you need to put your efforts and not get into the whitewash and white noise of the media, of Christmas. Everything has to be perfect. You could be doing this. Get yourself out of that concept and know just by doing you is enough, and looking after you is enough. Okay, so if you need to know more, come to the Infinity Health Hub. I will be putting on regular articles, and this video will be here as well. If I've snapshot it onto different social media, come to the Infinity Health Hub, and you will get different access to guided meditations that can help you on this journey. So lots of love, take it easy, and you've got this. Okay, take care.